Film photography, it's all the rage, but it's expensive, it's tricky, and it's slow. So today I'm going to show you how you can get 90% of the benefits of this just from this. And today's video is sponsored by Squarespace. If you need a domain name, a website, or an online store, make your next move with Squarespace. Now the first 30% is the restrictions brought on by shooting a roll of film. 25 years ago, I went to America and I was going to be visiting Death Valley and Yosemite National Park. I wanted to capture it. I wanted to photograph some landscapes. So we stopped at this little rest stop and I picked up this camera here. Incredible little thing. Shoots panoramic, wide photographs, but it only had 24 frames, and I spent nearly all my money on it that I had as a 16-year-old. I knew that I had to be very careful about every frame I captured because I didn't want to waste any. And doing things that forced me to be creative and careful is where I first fell in love with landscape photography. So what I'm going to do today is restrict myself to 24 frames with the digital camera. On a normal shoot, I'd probably only take 3 or 4 landscape photographs, but in the process of doing that, I'll fire the camera off and shoot probably about 100 frames. So I've got 24 today, which I've got to admit, I'm a little bit nervous about. I'm still going to use the autofocus. No, the autofocus wasn't on. So I've just wasted 1, 2, 3 frames, I think. When I did used to shoot film, I usually always wasted the first 2 or 3 just to be sure that the film was in the camera. I'm glad we don't have to deal with that anymore. But I'm going to do everything handheld today. And I'm going to take my first image here of this tree. Just a nice little shot to get me going and take the image. Right, I've just got down to this lake and there's a swan just down here. So I'm going to take this opportunity because it's really exciting with the handheld. Yeah, just try and capture it. It's got its head in the water now. It's kind of framed by these trees. I need to be careful to get the exposure right there. Try that. I'm zoomed in as far as I can go. I've shot 1 frame off. Let's go down to f2.8. There we go, try again, wait for it to pop up. My wildlife photography is probably not my forte, but I just want him to pop his head out of the water any time now. There, try that. Oh no, how many frames is that? 3 frames. I really think this is going to be a nice image, but it's difficult. And this is where a bit of the fear, uncertainty and doubt creeps in, because the next 30%, taking us up to 60% of film photography, is that we don't have any of the fancy features that we've become accustomed to on our digital camera. So the screen is completely off, if you can see that. I'm just going to be using the little screen there, the little screen that a film camera might have. That tells me the aperture and the shutter speed and the ISO, which I've fixed at 400, as if it was a 400 ISO film. I'm not adjusting that, so I've only got my shutter speed and my aperture to adjust to get the proper exposure. I don't have a light meter with me, so I'm relying on the little inbuilt meter that the camera has just with the readout on this screen. I then can't review the image. I've turned the screen off completely, so when I take a photograph, it's not popping up, and I've just got to kind of wait till I get back to see if I've managed to capture anything. I'm going to try and get a little bit closer though. I'm just going to rest against this tree. Oh, it's looking beautiful now. I think I need to underexpose it a little bit actually, because it's got bright white. Oh no, it's going away behind the trees. Let's creep around here. Oh no, it keeps moving. I need to go over here now as it's swimming away. Oh, it's quite nice with the background actually as well. You know, there we go. Can you see him? Let me move this around a bit. There he is, look. Just serenely swimming away in and out the water. I got some of the trees in the background as well. I think that's going to look really nice. I just hope I've exposed it properly. Lovely moment though. And the fact I'm not rapid firing away like many wildlife photographers would do is quite enjoyable. It's on my skill and I've got no one else to blame if I've mucked it up other than myself. So with film photography, obviously you could put in another roll of film, but I think as digital photographers, we've become accustomed, or we've got used to, there not being an ongoing physical cost for resources, such as film. Yeah, I want to stick to 24 frames today, which is starting to become a problem, because back there, oh, this mud is a problem as well, it's so muddy. Oh, I'm getting stuck in it. Back there, I took a couple more images, sort of abstract things, and then I got another chance with the swan, and I'm certain that I underexposed another of those shots. So yeah, but now I'm faced with these reeds here and these trees under the water, which I think looks really nice, but I'm not convinced I can get a good image of it. How many frames have I got left? Another 10, maybe 11. And I don't think I want to waste one on this scene here. And there's a bit of blue sky starting to appear, so I want to get up the hill there for sunset with enough frames to do something with that. Oh man, should I take it? I mean, it's not a great shot, but it kind of could be. The reflections in the water are interesting. Just make sure I've got the exposure right. Anyway, I'm going to do it. I think it's quite interesting, actually. I'm going to underexpose, make sure I've got my highlights protected, and fire away. That pressure of making use of every single frame really does make you think hard. Right, we've emerged out onto the top, and there's some lovely colour in the sky now, and I think it's going to be a really beautiful sunset. And I'll tell you about the remaining 30% and the missing 10% in just a second. But as you know, this video is sponsored by Squarespace. In my opinion, Squarespace is just the best place for photographers to build their own website. I've been using Squarespace for years, and I've literally never looked back. And the reason for that is it's so easy to do. You just go to squarespace.com, you type in what you do or what you want your website to be about, and they'll come up with a number of suggestions of some really lovely templates. You pick one, put some of your images on there and a bit of your text, and before you know it, you will have a unique and beautiful looking website. Another beautiful thing about Squarespace is it will grow with you. So you can start with a very simple online gallery, and your images are going to look big, bold and beautiful, way nicer than anything that social media can do. You control how they look, you control how they are presented, and I think that is a beautiful thing. You can then, if you want to, upgrade to an online store, and that's just as easy to do. I've been putting some new stuff up for sale recently, and it's an absolute breeze. It doesn't take long, and yeah, you can make a bit of money from your photography. The other thing is you don't need any technical knowledge. Squarespace does it all for you, including making it look right on any screen that the viewer is looking at your website on. And that includes a phone. And in 2024, when almost everybody looks at websites on their phone, that's especially important. They have award-winning customer service. And like I say, I've been using them for years, and it's just been a really pleasurable experience. So why not get your own website going and start telling your story? So go to squarespace.com to start your free trial today, and then if you like what you've created, use the offer code FIRSTMAN, tell them that I sent you there, so then we all win, and you'll get 10% off your first purchase. Right, if I just spin around this way, look at the light over there. I'm gonna have to get my camera out sharpish to capture that. Oh yes. I think that sky over there is just looking phenomenal, and I've just gone to review the image to get excited about it, and I can't. In a way, it's transformational. It's almost allowing me to connect better with the things I'm photographing. But that remaining 10% is simply the medium with which we capture our photographs. With a digital camera, it's obviously on the sensor. On film camera, it's on the film itself. That's the only difference, and that doesn't matter. I don't think the medium with which we capture the light matters. And that's especially the case with nearly all film photographers who scan and digitize their pictures anyway. I don't think the way we post-process makes any difference, whether it's the darkroom or the lightroom. Don't think it matters. What does matter is printing. We'll talk about that a bit more in a second. I've got about 5 frames left. I'm going to have another little go with this here. It's just looking fantastic. I'm going to frame it with a few of these trees. I'm really not sure about the exposure. Oh, it just looks lovely because I want to capture all the detail of that sky. Yeah, that's just looking fantastic. It's pretty blooming dangerous where I'm stood here on the edge. I'm going to underexpose a bit so I get the sky. Oh my God, it's so windy. Feels very dodgy. I'm going to focus on that cliff, some colour in the sky, and capture it. Oh, luckily the wind is blowing back onto the cliff, but it's gusting around and it doesn't feel safe at all. So let's go and talk about that final 30% of printing. Now, when I think back to my film photography days, the thing that stands out the most, the thing that was the most enjoyable about it, was when you eventually got those prints in hand. And it can also be done with digital photography. It's why I'm pushing printing so often, because when your image comes off the printer and you get it in hand, you feel that physical, tangible thing. You've brought photography back into the real world. It's just so special. And I think probably that's more than 30%. It's one of the most important things in fine art or creative photography is printing your images. I really don't think whether it's captured on film or a sensor really matters. It's what we do at the end of the process, how we eventually consume the photography. And if you use the C-type print, where the process is exposing your photograph onto photosensitive paper and then putting it through chemicals, which I did with this print here, I think that's far more meaningful than starting with film and finishing on a screen. So yeah, if you're considering buying a printer, click on this comparison video here. That may help you out. Or if you want to be inspired to try printing and be entertained at the same time, you can watch me drag this beast up a hill just here. I think you'll enjoy those videos. I've had a great day. I'll see you again very, very soon. Bye.